Hi all you beautiful friends. Here we are again. I've tried moving around in this little cabin and this is just the best spot. So I'm going to be here again. And who knows if I'm going to be here for the next 2 years. We don't know. So welcome to this Sunday Shining. Welcome to this very moment. All connecting in this video. What a gift that we can click on a button and just connect. And as I've said before, it's very hard to understand. There's really no time. So while I'm connecting now, I'm connecting into the future, into all the moments where you're going to click onto this video. So we together are now creating this little meeting moment, interaction, sharing of love. So it's it's really I have this really strong feeling of joy and feeling of excitement about what is going on. So I hope that you can hear me on this video, because the iPhone is not as good as the camera with the sound. So I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder, but I don't want it to be too unnatural either. So maybe I should move the camera a little bit closer. Let's just have a look. Let's just try this. See if this works better. So first of all, thank you with all my heart for all of your comments, because it was really wonderful last time, and I don't know what's happened, but there's just a stronger communication, and I feel you're more we've just come closer to each other. So I love how you share what's going on for you and how you're experiencing this transformation, which it really is. It is an event that has been apparently underway for eons. This is a very it is enormously exciting what's going on right now, and we are all, the more we open up to it, the more we experience it. And it's always helpful to somebody that you share what you feel and what you're experiencing. So thank you so much for the gift of what you share. So what else was there? We're going to go into this, we're going to continue sort of where we left off last time. And we were talking about enjoying being. And so different things came to me this week. So let's see what is to be. So one thing I can say about this, because when we talk about being and enjoying being, our mind, which has been so strong for so long, can give us the idea that, oh, that sounds really wonderful. You're like a bad friend. A bad friend. You're telling the person what you're doing, you're practicing being, and the friend who really doesn't know what you're talking about might give you this comment that sounds really, really quite airy-fairy, because how is that going to help you in any major way? And aren't there so many much more important things that you should be worrying about right now than being? Because, I mean, you might get the virus, you might die, you might get run over by a car, you might something, all these things that they can say. And this is what our mind does all the time. And when we just pause and just notice if the mind is doing this, it's good to just pause and I'll just sort of unravel this for a moment. Because if there's something that's not true, that is that statement that was there before. Because there's really nothing as important right now as practicing being yourself and enjoying your own presence. And why is this? Well, that is because this is the new foundation of a new world. I won't call it a new civilization, because we've had all the civilizations in the past and they ended. This is a new state of consciousness. It's a new way of being on earth. And the very foundations, like you're building a house, the very foundation for this is the joy of you feeling your own presence. That is the very foundation. So in a way, you are building a new house, or you are becoming the castle of light that you already are. So in a way, it's already there, but we can, to make it easier to understand, we can realize that we're building something completely new. And the very seeds of this new life is that exact experience that you love being you, and that you relish in every single moment of being you. And being you, okay, what's that? It's a female, it's a male, it's a that's not the you. It's the essence, it's the feeling, just the feeling of being the being. We can also say, instead of using the word you, which we have put so many labels on, this is me, this is you, all these labels which we are leaving behind. The foundation of our new life is the enjoyment of the presence, our own presence, our divine presence. And when we allow ourselves to just do this unraveling, reminding ourselves that that's the truth, it feels good, and that's because it is true. And how can I prove that? How can I prove that to you, that that's the truth? Well, let's see. If we go back into the way we used to live, and you can take yourself in a situation, rushing off to the shops, you forgot the milk or you forgot something and you're rushing off to the shops, and you can you see these movies they make where suddenly you freeze and you go back into everything you've done for the last years that have led to you rushing off to the shops getting that milk. And for most of us, we can go through all the sequences of, okay, I'm off rushing to the milk, rushing to get the milk, to get it home because I forgot it this morning, because I was late for work, and that was because my child was sick. And we can go back and back and back and back, and realize that the reason why this day we're rushing off to the shops for the milk was that one day a long time ago we made a decision out of fear and not out of joy. And so we might have moved to this city because that was the only choice we had, and because we had to have this job which we didn't really want to have, and all these millions of things that happened and that led us to that day rushing off to the shops for the milk. So if we unravel it all the way down, we find that one of the beginning decisions that led us to this place was based on fear and not in joy. And so that was the foundation of this, the place where we are in our lives right now, rushing off to the shops. That was really the seed, which was a bad seed, that brought us to this place. And so this way we have created our lives out of decisions that were rooted in fear and in, oh my God, if I don't do this, I better do this. If I don't do it, everything's going to go wrong type of way of thinking. And all these thousands of decisions we've made that have shaped our lives until we one day sit down and realize this is the most unhappy life I can imagine having. And I've really created this myself. I can see now. I used to think it was the circumstances that brought me to where I am now, but it wasn't. It was me always making decisions not out of my heart and out of the joy of being, but it was out of, oh my goodness, if I don't do this, everything's going to go wrong, or I better do it because otherwise they won't like me. So the foundation for our old life was not the joy of being. So that whole card house of a life that we had before is crumbling because it's not built on rock. It's not built on a firm foundation. And it can be very painful and very, very difficult to see it all crumbling, because we had this firm belief that we were really building up something wonderful, and we did have many wonderful wishes for ourselves and the people around us. But we're realizing now that the very foundation from what that was built up was not joy, the joy of being. And when we look deeper into it, we can see that we were really not there. It was one big, massive, really, in a way, a false way of being us. So now, either your life is that whole life is completely crumbling, and I'm here. This is one of my jobs to help you to relax in the process, and to see with the eyes of your heart that it's okay. Let it crumble. Let it all fall apart. Like my house out there, which is getting all wet from the rain, and I don't know if it's ever going to become a house. And just relax. It's just it's okay. It's okay, because the time is not to do that. The time is to sit here with you right now. So relax that whatever's crumbling is crumbling, and keep coming back to this realization that when I have the joy of being, when I am the joy of being, I have everything I need for my next step. Because I'm not interested in building the way I used to build, on fear and on, oh my God, what if? So now I'm just letting everything that needs to crumble, let it crumble. All the relationships that need to die, disappear, let them go. It's painful, and I need to cry, I need to scream, I need to feel very, very, very upset, and that's okay too, because it's difficult. It's like although our life was very painful for many of us, we loved it too. We became very, very attached to it, and we felt like it was really all we had. So letting that go can be very, very painful. So we need to cry. We need to allow ourselves to feel that this is difficult, but keep coming back to the realization and the truth that when I allow myself to enjoy being, I am building the foundations of a new life. No matter how old I am, no matter what I've done, what I haven't done, no matter any of my circumstances around me, I'm doing the one thing that is the only important thing. That is, I keep coming back to cultivating and really just allowing the joy of being me, being my own presence, just allowing that to expand. Because I know that I might die in 5 minutes, I might leave this body, who knows, I might live for another 50 years, we don't know. But I'm doing the most important thing I can possibly do, because I'm creating the new foundation for new life, for me and for whoever's going to enjoy it around me. So bringing our attention back to enjoying being is not an airy-fairy, fun thing to do, and then when you've done that for 5 minutes or 5 hours, you go back to real life where you have to do the real important things. No. This is the real important thing, because this is the foundation for everything good ahead. So as we cultivate this, and this grows and grows, and of course we get to feel better and better, and everything starts to fall in place more and more, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything begins to fall in place, and the wholeness that we have contained all the time becomes who we are. Then we can start creating, and we know deep within every cell, within every atom of our being, that when we start creating, it is all out of the joy of being. So I think this was really, really good to just shine some light on. This is the most important thing I can do. And not only is it the foundation for everything new to be created, but of course it is the greatest gift you can, as I've said so many times before, the greatest gift you can give yourself and anyone else on this planet, the joy of being you. Because as I finish this video and I am off to work later on during the day, go to sing in the church, I'm bringing this joy of being with me. Whether I'm driving my car or walking up some steps, going to the toilet, drinking my tea, getting ready to sing, singing in the church, at the funeral, whatever it is, that feeling, that blissful state is always in me, and it makes me smile. It's the light of the one that's beaming out of me and making me feel good all the time. And I might get a letter or an SMS or a phone call that blah, 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 this and this is very serious, and this and this and this you have to do, or you owe this money or whatever. But I don't hold on. I just allow this state of being, the joy of being, to be there all the time. And we are already feeling that the foundation is built for every single moment. You are the presence of joy in every moment. So everything gets to feel good because you feel good already. And so this is just so powerful. And people who have not reached this yet, when they see you, it's wonderful to see people who are joyful. And so you are helping them without explaining anything to them. You're helping them. So it's just so wonderful. And I got just before. One of the great helpers for us to stay in this, to keep coming back to the joy of being, is of course an enormous courage, because we have to allow for instance, my house to fall apart and just fall down, and there be just a pile of sticks there. So all the old worry we used to have, we let that go. Because if we allow that worry to be there, and that's what the way we used to live, was that if I'm sure that the house will not fall apart, or my life will not fall apart in some way, I'll be happy. And we're going the exact opposite way. So we're deciding that the joy within me, I will always be enjoying. That's number one. I enjoy the joy that's already in me, and I allow that to fill me. And my house might fall down, or I might lose my car, my job, whatever, and that's number two. So it takes courage to say to yourself, it's okay that everything in my life I thought was going to be in a certain way changes in 5 minutes. It's okay. And of course, as we get to feel how transformed we are, how good it feels to just be alive, we know within ourselves that nothing can really shake us anymore, because we've got everything we need, really, because we have the joy of being. And slowly we get to understand, oh my goodness, how could we have traded this way of being to all the worry? We chose all the worry and all the fear before instead of this. So we've found the jewel, we've found the kingdom, we've realized that that's really what we are, and we just allow ourselves to enjoy it every moment, all the time. So everything has shifted. So yeah, very, very, very exciting. So I just got these little things, just little images that all point to this. That before, we used to have a shovel to build our lives. We had this big old sort of rusty, heavy, you know, those shovels that are full of dirt, and every time you try to sort of stick them in the ground, they don't go in. That was the shovel that was the tool we had before to create our lives. And as we awaken, we realize that we have a magic wand, and we've had it all along. It's been there all along. We just couldn't see it because we were so busy with that hopeless shovel building our lives. And now we realize that we actually have a magic wand, and that everything is very easy, very light, and very love-filled, because that's all there really is. There is really only love. And not only do we have the magic wand in our hands, but we are actually the magic wand ourselves. So we came to this world and learned that you have to work hard, and we're gonna give you a really bad tool, and you're gonna have to work really, really hard. And this is tough. This is going to be hard for you. And now we can leave all that behind, because that really was a lie. Life is actually easy, because you are easy. You are light. You are the magic wand. You are this shining being that creates simply with your inner state of being. And yeah, let's just see. Yes, one of you wrote about a solitary life, and how you're leaving people behind, and getting rid of all these objects that we have collected over our lives. And how it's in a way it becomes a little bit like a monastic life, where you are very much alone a lot of the time, and just very, very peaceful life, and how it feels good. And that's what I'm experiencing a lot myself. And as I see it, it can feel very lonely sometimes, but it is really very necessary, because this important subject I'm talking about now, we have to do on our own. And we have been in this very, very destructive state for so long, and intertwined with people who are also in a very destructive state themselves. So it was chaos. We've been living in chaos for thousands and thousands of years, the human created chaos that was all rooted in fear. And as we awaken from this, we need some time alone to just let the dust settle. All the dust all this dust we've been pushing around. By the way, we were living with our shovel, all this dust that was swirling around in the air for absolutely nothing other than just creating more pain. We sort of step out of the dust cloud, and we need some time to just be with ourselves, for the air to clear. And when you feel it feels good, it's because that's the right thing for you. So some of us can be with people to some extent, and it is very nourishing to have a friend, someone to be with. So it's we will slowly be able to be with people more and more, but allowing for a time of solitary a solitary life is can be very, very fruitful for us. And also because we need to come and find this all our strength we need to rediscover within ourselves. So all leaning on other people will disappear. So yeah. And another thing I got as we go about our daily life, just creating space, or allowing for space. So as we move away from that very, very chaotic life, we do much less. We are much more in the being, and I must say, it is really, really wonderful. It has taken me many years to realize how little I actually need to do in one day, and to allow myself to tell myself that that's enough. I've cleaned up the chicken pen. It took me about 2.5 minutes. That's fine for now. I'll go and have a break for 3 hours. That's sort of, I would never be able to do that before, but to not keep piling on the activity. So just sensing how I'm just going to let there be space. Lots and lots and lots of space. And of course our ability to be, enjoyment of being, is given all this space when we do this. So quiet living, quiet being, little activity. And we are really, really dismantling the old belief that we need to do so much, and that has been so strong. We really made ourselves believe that we were these machines that just from the moment we got up in the morning, we're this machine, we press the on button and off we go. So demanding towards ourselves and towards others often. So, but really it's not needed and it's not healthy. So our main focus being in the joy of being. That's where God is. And imagine God. I imagine God as a man, which he's not, but masculine. And you imagine a big masculine, big man. It could be a woman, doesn't matter. Say, come to me and just lie in my, just lean back into my embrace, and feel how God enjoys you just leaning back. And God just says, oh, that feels good. That feels good, that you allow this to feel good, that you're just leaning back and doing nothing. Lean into my bosom. Lean into me and let me hold you. And just stay there. So there's many, many ways we can see this, but this is true health, to allow this. And yeah. Okay, so the last thing I have is it's all really the same thing. We're practicing enjoying being, and of course the next step, as you realize this is really working. I'm feeling better and better. The joy is growing in me. The things around me, it's fading. It doesn't matter so much. So I have to engage with it. But the joy is always coloring everything. It's shining its light onto everything around me, everything I do. It's there. So it's really it's not leaving me. When you get to that point, of course, what you do when you start doing things is keeping your attention on the joy. So you have to go and make your lunch, or you want to go and make your lunch. Beforehand, we would leave the meditation or whatever spiritual practice behind and go and do our lunch. But what we're doing now is we take it with us all the time, of course. So this will be the next step in our practice, that we always have some attention, 30, 40, 50, 60% of our attention on this. I am enjoying being the presence that I am. And I will go and boil an egg while I'm feeling this. So this will be there all the time, because we make sure we keep our attention on it. Because we have this enormous attention span, and we know that from multitasking. You're thinking of one thing and doing another thing and also another thing at the same time. So as human beings, we can have our attention in many areas. So we're just learning that the main area to have my attention is that I am the joy of being. So that was a whole lot about the same thing. So I'm going to leave you now, and I hope you could hear me, and I very much welcome you to share what you want to share about this, whatever you are experiencing in your life. So please do write if you like. And yeah, I wish you all a beautiful, space-filled, joy-filled Sunday and week. I'll see you soon. Bye.